So the program actually got switched from plant biology, tropical ag, just the name, nothing too crazy, to sustainable agriculture. So that's what we're going to be going over today. Sustainable agriculture is a Leeward Community College program, and the program coordinator is Daniela Elliott. And I am the presenter, Manuel Diaz. I'm also the program peer mentor. And when you're inside the program, I'm just one of your resources that you get to use as a student. I've taken some classes myself, and I do have office hours or online only. My phone number is up there and available to anyone to call or text anytime. I used to work in sales, so if you have any questions about plant biology, sustainable agriculture, I can help you with that. And my email is diazmanu@hawaii.edu. This is my second year at Leeward CC, and I do plan on transferring to a UH college. Another UH, I'm a four-year college. Some of the services that you'll be receiving when you're inside the program would be a newsletter, schedule planning, academic support, and career help through things like career coach, job prep services, one-on-one training, one-on-one peer mentoring if needed. So the program options are going to be an associate's in science. That's like the big one. That's the one you want to go to, grab, and then use that to transfer to another school if that's what you're interested in. The associates in science will prepare students for various careers in agriculture through hands-on practice, classroom instruction, and knowledge of plants, soil, crop production, pest management, business principles, food, agriculture, and the environment. 4 semesters, 2 years, 54 to 60 credits. And this is all roughly the semesters. You may have to take some prerequisites, but you can always reach out to myself or Amy Amper, the counselor, and she'll be able to direct you on time and the semester scheduling. And they'll, underneath the larger Associates in Science, there's a few certificates, an academic subject certificate. This is designed to provide plant science and laboratory knowledge and skills to facilitate employment or further education in agricultural businesses. 27 to 30 credits, you're looking about 2 semesters. There's a certificate of achievement, and that's going to get students ready for careers in agriculture through hands-on practices and classroom instructions in crop production, pest management, business principles, food, agriculture, and environmental studies. That one is 34 to 38 credits. That's 2 to 3 semesters, and your certificate of competence will help develop skills and acquire knowledge through hands-on practices and classroom instruction in agricultural systems and tropical crop production. 14 credits, roughly 1 semester. We do also offer a certificate of competence in aquaponics, and aquaponics is a really cool field, especially when we're looking at crop production and sustainability. This is going to provide comprehensive course in plant science and aquaponics, including plants, aquaculture, pest management, and aquaculture systems. This is about 10 to 13 credits, and the reason there's not a semester on there is because you can take this while you're in your Associates of Science. Once you obtain your Associates of Science, you will also have all these certificates. So these are like little goal points along the way. Some of the classes offered at Leeward and some of the ones that I've taken. Ag 170 with lab, the aquaponics, that's going to have an online portion as well as a in-class lab. This will provide students with an understanding of the major biological concepts using an aquaponic system as a model ecosystem. And Ag 264, plant propagation. Oh, woohoo! On that photo, you're actually seeing a laminar flow hood and a student take a tissue culture and sample it out to another agar dish. Pretty much you can grow so many plants off of like a piece of leaf or stem, which is really interesting, especially when we're having so many people to feed. Plant propagation will teach you propagation of selected plants by seed, cuttings, grafting, layering, and micropropagation, and tissue culture. Ag 251, sustainable crop production. This will introduce production methods for selected crops, including propagation planting, fertilization, irrigation, pest control, harvesting, and marketing. Look at that beautiful color. Ah, it's amazing. So what does studying plants grow to? Well, we're looking at some of the typical salaries that you'll see in the occupations that you can go into after you study some of the classes or fulfill your associates in science. The agriculture technicians, farm managers, You'll see, I also want to show the career coach. So some of the median salaries, foresters, 85 to, excuse me, and then soil plant scientist, 72,000. So just some of the options that you can look at, and you can even jump into if you go to career coach right now, and you can see some of the entry level positions and the higher level positions. Why study plants at Leeward CC? Education and training to be part of Hawaii's diversified agriculture and conservation fields. Classes are dynamic and applied to current issues related to tropical agriculture and island sustainability. We focus on sustainable agriculture practices that are science-based, environmentally sound, and benefit our island community. Students will gain fundamental skills, knowledge, and experience in sustainable crop production, pest management, business principles, food systems, agriculture, and the environment. Enjoying the Aina. So Leeward CC has a research and learning farm on campus that supports our classes by allowing students to learn hands-on with composting, vermicast, that's using worms, it's pretty cool, integrated pest management, and growing and eating amazing produce. Leeward CC's native plant garden serves as an immersive learning experience and is for those interested in native plant conservation. All students in the Sustainable Agriculture program must complete an internship at a local agricultural facility to gain hands-on knowledge and real-world perspective. So I've already done my internship, and I just wanted to show you what an example internship kind of would look like. This is in no way what all of them will look like. It's different for every internship you go to, but this is at Castle High in the summer of 2019. On the left, you'll see the kalo field that's just filled with weeds. We took it down and stripped the weeds around, and so the lo'i patch looks way better. And then to the right is a field that they actually use now for biofuel. It's a partnership they have. I think they posted about it on their Instagram that you can check out, but it was just a really cool photo of the painting. So some of the core classes that you'll have to take, be your core class alpha. If you look over to the left, it'll show you all the classes that are your core classes, the class titles, and some of your prerequisites. And so in the beginning, I said it's a rough estimate on your semesters, just because the prerequisites, they may or may not hinder you. So you may have to take those in order to take some of the other classes. And then at the very bottom, we have that PBT internship, but that is on instructor approval. So once you get into the program and you maybe have a semester or two under your belt, you can then talk to Kabi. I believe he's the coordinator, and he'll be able to set you up, or Daniela Elliott, she'll be able to facilitate a internship for you as well. If you are interested in getting started or learning more, these are all clickable links, and then we do have the link to leeward.hawaii.edu/enroll. Some of the references that I have, and then after this, I would like to open it up for Q&A.
Manuel, thank you so much. That was great. There are a couple questions that have come through the chat box. So one of them is, are the internships mandatory? I know you said that it's once you get in, but are they mandatory for graduation?
If you're going to go all the way to the associate's degree, yes, it is mandatory.
Okay. And then you mentioned that you yourself are going on to one of the 4 years. Does it track directly into a 4-year degree, or are there other prerequisites that you have to take care of? All
the classes at Leeward will be fully transferable over to any other UH school system. And there is a UH West Oahu setup degree for food sustainability that is probably one of the best options that I've seen so far.
Okay. What would you recommend for students coming out of high school to have a base understanding of?
So a base understanding of just general like math, and for some of the classes, when I first started, it said chemistry, and this is coming when I hadn't been in class in years. So I'm I'm about 30 years old, and I jumped into these classes well after high school. So my baseline knowledge was pretty much out the window. So jumping in with just a little bit of math, I think is fine. The professors do really well at getting you to where you need to be into the agriculture classes. Now, if you wanted to hit your prerequisites, I would recommend just as an overall general, knocking out your core classes, your math, your English, and some of your, if you can get chemistry done in high school, get it done in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Or at
Okay.
least try to find a class that is like, there should be like a transferable credit. Talk to your high school counselors if you are able to do so about chemistry classes that you might be able to take that will give you college credit.
Okay. And then everybody's asking, do you know what things are going to look like in the fall? I know some of your classes might be outside. Do you
Oh,
know what the
yes.
program's going to do for classes?
I know that there's still a lot of things up in the air. I do
Mm-hmm.
know that Zoom is going to be used for the classes. It's really interesting, of course, the times that we find ourselves in. I did talk to one of the professors yesterday, and it's looking like there might be classes like in person, but it's all just depending on what the future holds. And so we're pretty much all in the same boat. So we're just playing the waiting game. I hope there's classes in person. Social distancing is fine, and the garden is very large. You can all
Mm-hmm.
hang out with the plant.
Mm-hmm. In nature.
Exactly. Feel a little zenny. That's why I like it.
And then coming out of the program, the associates program, and if students didn't go on to get their bachelor's, is there a lot of work in Hawaii if they wanted to stay at home that they could get coming straight out with an associate's?
Oh, I love this question. So most people know that Hawaii is 85% or more dependent on outside resources. So
Mm-hmm.
things like food of that nature. So when people say, are there opportunities? I say there's about 85% out of the whole, huge opportunity. And we're looking in things with like partnerships with farms. And this generation is sparked with so much idea and creativity that most of the students that go and approach, if they don't want to work in a field, like, hey man, that's just not my style. I would rather be on more of maybe an end where I'm working closely with the farms, but I'm not, sweating all the time. There's things like marketing that farms needs help with. Like there's the grow process, but there's also the selling of the grown foods that we really
Mm-hmm.
need help with too. And that takes sharp minds that are willing and able to use the tools that we have around us. So the things like Instagram, social media, marketing skills that a lot of farmers and farmers markets, they're getting to them now, but there's always opportunity. And 85% or more dependent on outside resources. Yeah, we have a lot of room for growth.
Fantastic. Are there any other questions? That was the end of the chat box. Again, Manuel, thank you for coming. This is excellent. As you know, this is our first go at this, but I think it's going really well. And thank you for coming on and sharing your program with us. I really
Definitely.
appreciate a student coming on too. It's nice to hear
Thank
the
you
student
so much.
perspective.